to yawn or not to yawn. Before we get started, I would like you to get a piece of paper and a pen. Now with a piece of paper and pen, I would like you to keep a tally of how many times you yawn during this speech. The results will surprise you. Did you yawn yet? If you did, go ahead and count it. We will be talking about yawning, what is a yawn, and why we yawn. According to Wikipedia, the free online encyclopedia, 40 to 60% of people yawn when they just see other people yawn. To understand the mystery of yawning, we will first get to know what a yawn is, the purpose it serves our body, and why it is such a contagious mystery. A yawn is a reflex of simultaneous inhalations of air, stretching of the eardrums, and followed by an exhalation of breath. How do we physically yawn? First, we open your mouth and your jaws drop. You inhale air and it goes into your lungs. Your abdominal muscles flex and your diaphragm pushes down. The air you inhale expands your lungs, and then some of the air is then thrown or blown back out. Now that we know what a yawn is, let's get into some reasons on why we yawn and why it has fascinated people for so many years. There have been many studies and theories to lead to the question on why we yawn. Others say that we yawn because our blood content contains high amount of carbon dioxide. So when we yawn, this process allows more oxygen to come into our bloodstream, which help levels out the oxygen levels. Yawning can also be a tool to cool off our brain. It is said that yawning cools off our brain like a fan cools off a computer. In 2007, researchers did a study at the University of Albany and concluded that people yawned more when a warm or room temperature towel was put on their foreheads. Others had a cold towel against their heads and yawned less. They also found out that people that breathed through their nose tended to yawn less or not at all. Yawning is also a way to stretch your facial muscles. Yawns are also caused by some chemicals that are in your body, such chemicals as serotonin, dopamine, glutamic acid, and nitric acid. These chemicals are activated in the brain, which will help increase the frequency of your yawning. Lastly, yawning helps increase your alertness and maintain attention. It has also been noted that paratroopers yawn right before they're about to exit an aircraft. Now that we know what a yawn is, let's explore why it is so contagious. It has been said by many that there are two main categories that yawning comes from. One is evolutionary and one is psychological. Evolutionary. Yawns once was a way people signaled to each other while in groups, and it remains a reflex today because it's a leftover response from our human ancestors. The yawn once served to coordinate the social behavior of groups and animals. When a member yawned in a group, it signaled an event, which the humans later inherited as a trait. One other theory also says yawning is a herd instinct, signaling tiredness to other members to help coordinate sleep patterns and periods. This is common more among primates or monkeys. Now the psychological part. Humans are highly social creatures, so we watch each other and we copycat each other. So when someone else yawns, it's a natural instinct for us to then turn around and yawn ourselves. Some professors say that when you suffer from colds, sinuses, and allergies, you might yawn a bit more than others. This is because they are trying to feed air into your middle ear to equal out that pressure. We also do this when we're in airplanes and when we are exposed to different levels of altitude. Yawning can be a sign of empathy as well. A study was done with autistic children and non-autistic children. The study showed that autistic children were less likely to yawn after watching a non-autistic child yawn. Autistic children are known to have a difficulty in showing empathy which relates to their lack of yawning. Yawning is once thought by people to be rude or a sign of boredom, but studies have shown that this reflex helps maintain a healthy body. We can now understand the process of yawning and some of its benefits. In some perspective, yawning can save our lives and help us with social communication. Here are some interesting facts I'm going to leave you with today. The average yawn lasts about 6 seconds. The earliest occurrence of a yawn is about 11 weeks after conception in a fetus. Yawns become more contagious in people around the 1st to 2nd years of life, and yawning in front of dogs seems to relax them. Now, let's look at your results. In the course of this few-minute speech, most people have yawned 6 to 15 times. Check your status and see how you did. Thank you.